Okay, welcome back. Today we have a bird box we want to make. They call it an outhouse bird box. I think they're kind of cute. Uh, I just wanted to make something a little bit different this time, and we were thinking about putting up some bird boxes anyway. So this one here is all made out of cedar, so that's what we're going to use today. Cedar boards. You can see the fence boards. That's what we're going to use today. And real simple. It's not hard to build these things. But once you get your measurements all set up, you get your first one done, the rest of them, if you make 2 or 3 of them, they're going to go really nice. Now, I was out and about to a show where actually it was a flea market is what it was. Was it last Sunday? And the guy was selling these at the flea market. I was really surprised. I've never built these before. And he said they go really well. Uh, Kids like it. They think it's neat looking. But we got a craft show we're going to go to sometime this week, so we're going to check it out and see how they're selling these. You know how much they're selling for. I was saying somewhere around $39, something like that. 39 and maybe down a little bit lower. But being a cedar, it's going to last a long time. So you can build these probably a good one time and they'll last quite a few years. I do have glue in them. I mean, I've glued everything, so that makes it a lot more stronger and kind of keeps the moisture, from loosening up where the staples and stuff are at. So here it is. Okay, we have a side. Now I had to do a little bit different. I'm just going to start on the front. The front, how I cut the front out. Now, the front board is a little bit different. We cut the door out in the front. I put it on a scroll saw and cut it. Okay, and then of course we put a little moon here. Now you don't have to cut this moon out like this. If you got a scroll saw, you can cut that out, a little piece of real thin wood, cut it out and glue it on there, or something you like to put. Maybe you want to put something else on it. We have an 1.5 inch Forster bit. We put the hole for the bird to go in, and then a 3/8 dowel rod hole. You need a 3/8 drill bit, and then we also did this on a 15-degree angle cut across the front. Now that just gave you this angle up here, right here, and then it sealed it. Okay, so we did a 15-degree angle on it. So I'll give you the measurements on this thing here. Let's go ahead and let me get this thing out of here. So the whole piece itself is 10.5 inches. So we have 10.5 inches from the top to the bottom, and then 5.5 inches across here. Now some of these boards come in 5 3/8, so you got to be careful when you buy this board. If take a ruler with you and then make sure that it is 5.5 inches across, because if it's 5 3/8, you're going to mess up your measurements, and then you're going to be kind of mad and say it didn't work. But always make sure when you go buy, your lumber, especially boards like fence boards, because they don't really make them all the same. Make sure you measure it. If I tell you it's 5.5 inches and you get 5 3/4, it's going to knock it off. It'll knock it off pretty much. So just kind of watch out for that. And we went ahead and did a 1.25 inches, an 1.25 inches across here, and an 1.25 inches. Okay, and then from the bottom to here was 8 inches. And then we put it on the scroll saw and we cut that out. You can see it wasn't too bad. I mean, I put a bigger blade in it, a lot thicker one, because I was just cutting straight up here. But you don't want to go too thick because you can't cut this corner, and you don't want to drill holes in it. I did another thing. I also had to cut the back side of the door down where that little edge is right here. Now I did that on purpose because, so it would open up. Because what happened was that edge was on here, it was sticking out too far, and every time you open it, it would catch it. Now I wanted to keep the gap in here as close as I can, because that's just where the scroll saw cut it out. I didn't have that big of a blade. Now if I put it on a bandsaw, I probably would have had a lot wider gap, and I really didn't want all that big gap in there anyways, you know what I mean? So we went ahead and cut it on a scroll saw. Now I used one of those blades. I forget which one it was. But remember, you have a 15-degree angle on the top, but when you do that 15-degree angle, make sure you know what the front, of your, box is going to look like. Because if you're putting it on a saw, you can accidentally cut it the wrong way. And you don't even have to cut that 15-degree angle. If you don't want to, you can just leave it square. And I thought about that too when I was doing it. I'm like, well, maybe I could have left it square and then put like allow a little bit of a ventilation on the top, because a lot of bird boxes do have some type of ventilation on top. But I was hoping to just keep it sealed for this mine, and then go ahead. You would have this hole, these other holes here for ventilation. So I don't know, but go ahead and try it. If you can't cut that 15-degree angle, I tried straight. It's just going to have a little bit of different look. It won't be, so sealed like this in here. But that's okay. I mean, just try it and see what you can do with it. Now here's a side, and I had to cut this side a couple times to get it to come out right. So it would be like this here. Like I said, sealed and cut. But when you cut these, you got to make sure you only got really one cut if you don't want to waste too many of these, or do too many cuts. But if you did get, like I said, a gap, just leave it for air. It'd be fine. But I have on mine 10 3/8, and then the 5.5 inches wide. So both of them. And then like I said, I cut these on a 15-degree angle. Okay. So I got 2 of these on that, and then I have a back piece that I cut for this. It's a smaller, and it is a 4 1/4 inches wide across this way, and then I think it's 8 7/8 high. Let's see. Yep. So it would be 8 to 7/8 this way. Okay. So let's go ahead and try to get this thing together. Let's see. Let's start. We're going to start like this. I don't have 2 of those, so I can help hold that up. Let's see what type of screws or nails. I'm just going to use brad nails for it, and some glue. Now, I know one thing about cedar, using these brad nails. It's almost cedar. It seems so strong, but then it's so soft. But they would shoot those nails off to the side for some odd reason. I never paid any attention to them. Now, this bottom board, I didn't cut that. I didn't cut the 10-degree angle on the bottom. I just said heck with it. Get that thing away from me. Okay. These things are, I tell you what, if you like to do woodworking, these things are a lot of fun to make. I think if you sold them, I'm pretty sure you make pretty decent money. Just make sure they look pretty good, because that's what people really look at. What what you build, how nice you build it. Came out. It came out too. See, why does that? Something about cedar. See, there's 2 staples shot out right there, but and I shot them straight down through too. Something about cedar. I don't know if it's the grain of it. It just catches it and then shoots it out. So I got to pull them out of there. And I just use the pliers. Get that piece of paper over there. Take your time, get them out. There it is. Don't like pulling them out, but tears up the wood sometimes. But it's just something you have to get them out of there. You don't want to in there. There. A little bit of marker can be sanded up and straightened up a little bit. But you can see what I'm trying to tell you. Every time I shoot those, I don't know, maybe it's the cheap staples. I bought some different staples the other day, actually cheaper ones. And well, I've had those for a while. I don't think those are the new ones. I can't remember. But they have a tendency to want to go the wrong way. Who knows why? Okay, now my top board, of course, it's going to come in like this. You're going to have to, pull it apart to get it set in there. So let's get some glue on that. They'll go together so fast. I think once you get your first one made, then the rest of them seem to go really, really fast. Get one over here. There you go. You don't really want to put any staples down here at the bottom yet. You need to put that bottom board on first. Okay, so here's our bottom board. Now I let the bottom board, hang out just a little bit further. You don't have to do that, but you can actually come out a little bit further now if you want to. So it is 5.5 inch, 5.5 inch. What the heck is a 5.5 inches by 6.5 inches. Okay, and we're just going to place it right here on the bottom. Oop, I'm gonna get hit by this thing again. Oh, there it goes again. I'll pull that one out. I'm probably going to have to change them staples. Okay, now what I have to do is you have to pull your sides in. Now I'm just going to go ahead and keep doing that bottom board. Watch them staples don't come out and shoot you in the finger. 1, 2. Now your front, you can come back to it and go ahead and line it up. And then put some staples in it now. Yeah, I would say maybe their staples are not very good. I think I've ran into them before like that. That's fine. Okay, we got our bottom in. Now we need just to put the roof on it. Now I measured in. Let's see if I find me a pencil. I did 1.25 inches. I measured 1.25 inches. Okay. I thought that was where I wanted it to be, was 1.25 inches. I mean, if you want to make it different, fine. I didn't get that 1.8 on it. 1.25 inches. A little mark here on the side. And then put your lid on it. Okay. You can glue this. Let's get one here on top of. Hope I can line that up right. Yep, it went in there. Okay, there you go. You got this here, the roof on it. I measured 1.5 inches here. I just put a little mark here on the side, and then went ahead and glued it and put it on there. So we got that much done. Now the only thing left is putting the door on. What I did is here, I stuck a little piece of wood. I have some here somewhere. Just stick a little piece of wood down in here like this. Okay, and then I'm gonna have to put a couple little staples in there. And that would be it for the staple guy. I gotta get the smaller staples. Little ones. I have some real small ones here. That's 3/8. And put a couple little staples in that. Now put our door on. Okay, first thing I want to do is put our hinges on. Now on cedar, well, basically any type of wood you're going to do, the best thing to do is pre-drill these just a little bit, because they have the tendency to shift. Yeah, they have a tendency to shift. This one does not want to come apart. Now, I picked these up at Home Depot. I could not find them. My wife and I looked all over the place, and then all of a sudden we found them. It's like, wow, some of the weirdest places. Okay, let's see what I had on this one. I like the measurement off of that one. I think that was 1 inch by 1 inch. So, make sure this is in the back. Turn my box around, make sure I get it right. Hinges on this side. Let me measure inch. Just go ahead and pre-drill these. Yeah, it's easier to pre-drill these. And you get your screws to go down there straight. There's one. Shift it a little bit. Let's put a screw in it first. Some really stiff hinges this time. On there like that. Okay, there you go. Pretty nice. Now, the only thing you have to do is put this here in, and then I'm gonna stick a little bit of glue on it here, and then I don't want too much on it because it doesn't come back out and be all over the box. There you go. Now what we need to do is put a little knob. I made one. You can just make anything you like. Pre-drill it. Make sure it's actually bigger than your screw because you're going to want to twist it. Let me see. There you go. You probably don't have to pre-drill this one if you don't want. There you go. Okay, that's my number 3. I made another one, and the other one is here somewhere, but I put a different hinges. I like the black hinges than using any other color, you know, the regular chrome or whatever like that. I thought the black hardware was really nice. I even found black screws to put on for the little thing here to turn. So really simple design. I think if you get your first 1 or 2, maybe 2 of them done, and if you're going to make them for people or somebody, it'd be nice to give a gift. I know that for sure. I always say that just to be kind, so you can be kind to others. And because you wouldn't believe how nice it is to give a gift to somebody, and then you get a smile from them or a thank you. That makes you feel good too. And that's what we do. We'll build them and they give them out for Christmas gifts, the holidays, whatever. Just the gestures to make people feel better. So here's 2 of them. Nice short design. Nothing really major. Like I said, if you mess up on the side, just leave it for ventilation. Don't worry about it. You're going to mess up on your first one, so it might take 2, maybe 3 tries. But once you try a couple times, you're going to master it, and you're going to be really good at it for sure. And like I said, to help other people is a nice gesture. You can sell these or give them as a gift. So that's it for today. This is a birdhouse. Outhouse is what they call it. And they are selling them, so you can take a look online. They see them on Etsy. I see them on Amazon. I thought I see them on Amazon. And somewhere else just seen them. They were selling them. And I think they're going for somewhere around $39, something like that. You can check for yourself. That's what I figured they would go for. So, okay, if you got any comments and if you like the video, please subscribe to it. Definitely leave me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. And have a great day, and thanks for watching.